Let me set my body talk. And imagine you get a dream job, working at a company that you have dreamed of, and everybody sees you're very successful. Nevertheless, in fact, you're very struggling at your job performance, and you cannot ask help for others. And even in a private life, you're deeply depressed, and you're reluctant to do anything in the weekend. Even for a best friend's wedding, you couldn't go because you don't want to see anybody. This is what actually happened to me 12 years ago. So today, I'm gonna talk about my failures. And I hope it will be helpful for you because it can happen to anyone. And especially for people, high achieving, motivated people like you who tend to choose a challenging path in his career. But as this is a money talk, so before going to my failures, let me take you through my early life. My early life. I was born 1987, September 11th, roughly a month before Black Monday. So that's why I believe the year 1987 used all the luck for my birth. Thank you very much. And I was born in Tokyo, and especially in the middle of Tokyo, or the city named Shinjuku. I was born in Shinjuku. And also I was raised in Setagaya city, which is like Boston city, like having a lot of schools and greens and parks. I think this is one of the best environments to raise a kid. And but to raise a person like this, as you may assume, my family is very decent, strict family, like this. With extra edit like this. And here's another one from different year. As you can see, my mother has a magical power to make people happy, positive, outgoing. But her weakness is sometimes to be too optimistic. And I have inherited the same personality. My father and sister are very calm and collected. And so that's why they sometimes stop us to be optimistic. That's how our family works. And my early days, I was a boy like outing to explore the world. I can't stop my curiosity. So that's why rather than staying at home, I like to outing and doing some sports. So especially I love sports. I tried lots of kinds of sports, like baseball, basketball, football, swimming, anything I tried. But on the other hand, I'm not good at creative skills. So that's why that leads to my first failure. This is a story. When I was in junior high school, I asked my mother to do my summer vacation homework for art class. And I had been steadily below the average in that art class. But the problem is, the summer vacation assignment, my artwork, actually my mother's artwork, was awarded the historical best award. And as this is the historical best record in my junior high school, that's why my mother's artwork was printed on the top page of the school newspaper. This is my first failure. And as I explained, I was really enthusiastic for sports or athletic things. But on the other hand, I didn't study at all until the first year of high school. But one day, my force awakened. Since then, I was steadily being marking like bottom 3 out of 400 students in high school. But started with bottom 3 out of 400. In the next year, I'm in 18th grade. In the following year, a first place. And finally, I got a sixth place in a nationwide exam in Japan. And lastly, I enrolled into one of the good universities in Japan, namely Keio University. Keio has a campus both in Tokyo and Yokohama, Kanagawa Prefecture. Kanagawa is right below Tokyo. And this is the campus. But the problem of a university in Japan is difficult to get in, but easy to graduate from. So let me last with one story. This is a story about one of the class I took during the sophomore. There is a final exam. Usually, there are only 10 to 15 students into the classroom. But classroom is huge auditorium actually. But when in exam, there comes 300 students into the classroom. And most of them never attended that class. But one of the questions in the final exam is there are several headshot forwards, and we have to recognize the professor's face. And the question is, choose my face. And actually, this is said to be the hardest question. And thanks to that college culture, I can pursue a lot of hobbies. For example, I love singing. So I used to be a professional singer activity. And also, I even took some famous audition in US, like American Idol. I failed, of course. And I also went to the summer school at Cambridge University. This is amazing experience too. Not better than MIT, of course. I love traveling. I've been to more than 50 countries only during the college. And so far, I've been to more than 100 countries. I still love traveling is one of my most important hobbies. And I graduated college in 2010. These are my best friends in college. And I joined McKinsey for the first job. And McKinsey is a great company. It's like in school. It provided us a lot of opportunity to learn various business skills and industry knowledge. But I love that job so much. So that's why I became the first person to bring in the sleeping bag into the office like this. No, this is the usual thing. So. Not a serious thing. He's working. And from here, I'm gonna talk about my failure. The thing is, I changed the job from consulting to private equity because private equity has been my dream job. So I explored every opportunity to get in the private equity during working at McKinsey. And I luckily got opportunity to join one of the firms named NDK Partners. But yeah, from here, I gotta talk about my career, right? And I Google it. Kenta Takahashi failure. But Google says no results found. I make a mistake. No, sorry, just joking. Now you know that even Google makes mistakes. Yeah, the thing is, the story over when I moved the job to the private equity. And I joined a firm. When I joined the firm, I was only junior investor out of 6 other investors. And all of them have more than 7 years, 8 years experience in that area. So as I was only junior investor, I have to do everything, like building the financial modeling, business analysis, accounting, tax planning, and legal documentations. So I was really struggle catching up my job, and especially I have to do all those things all at once, and very good quality. And unfortunately, all the members are incredibly smart and hardworking. So that's why every time I made a mistake, everybody really pays attention to me. Oh, what happened? Because they didn't understand that making some mistake, right? So that's why I was really struggle. And for those first 2 years, every memories were great. And as I told in the beginning of this talk, I was in that situation. So firstly, I tried to escape the job, but I needed some excuse, right? Because I don't want other friends know that I'm not good at the performance. So that's why I quit the job. So that's why I tried two things. The first thing is to apply for a business school. And I applied for HBS and GSB, but both of those schools I failed. And second try is to start my new business. I would like to aim for some side hustle. But this time I tried twice, but I lost $10,000 each. So I failed again. So I completely lost any light to get out from that dark room. So this is when I was became vulnerable. So at that time, I often take a flight for a business trip in Japan. But every time I take the flight, I hope that this flight crash. Yeah, I was in very low in that moment. But as I'm a math guy, I calculated the probability of a flight crash, which is turned out to be 0.0007%. In other words, you may have one flight crash if you have flight every single day for 200 years. Amazing technology, right? So this is the only time, and the last time, I thought that technology sucks. But then I changed my mind. Firstly, I tried to find a spot where I can contribute. As I have an edge, because I'm from a consulting firm. So that's why first thing I did was to go to the front-line works. For example, I worked as a dishwasher at a coffee chain, and also sometimes I do a shop clerk at a retail store of the chocolate bar company. In such a way, I gradually find a spot where I can make a contribution to the team. And because in the front-line work, there are tons of insights and information where we cannot access from the office or desktop research, which enabled me to develop a unique analysis. But I still need something more to cheer up me. So that's why I started to make some small achievable commitments for me. That is running 5 kilos every day, whatever happens. I swear to myself, and I did it actually. Any snowy days, rainy days, stormy days, I did it. 5 kilos running for 2 years. And then gradually I became interested in the full marathon. And I joined several full marathons, like in Germany, sometimes in Italy, US, Australia, Japan, all over the world. And that hobby got escalated a little bit more. I tried Ironman triathlon. Some of you may know, Ironman triathlon is 3.8 kilometers swimming, 180 kilometers biking, and 42 plus kilometers running in a day. Simone also did it. He did it 8 times, right? Six times.
Who counts?
And I did it. And this is the moment when I cut the finish line. Thank you. And then that hobby still got escalated just a little bit. Just a little bit. And next, I became interested in one of the hardest races on the planet, the Sahara Desert Race, which is 250 kilos marathon. The whole course is on a desert. And we have to carry all the crosses and foods. for 5-6 days during the race, which sounds to me very attractive. When I saw that race, I thought, of course, I thought it's crazy, and I was really overwhelmed. But when I see that big goal, and then disaggregate that big goal into the small pieces, let's say like distance per hour, which turned out to be the 5 kilos per hour. Oh, I realized that that's something I did every day, right? So that's why I just decided to make us one step forward. And I resisted the race. And quickly I realized that, oh, this is way above my capacity. on the first 3 days, every night, I tried to come up with some good excuse to win the race. I never come up. But at the same time, I reflected on those first 3 days. And I found one of my mistake is that I was too nervous about my time. And I changed the pace when I saw the competitors. And I reluctant to take a rest during the race, which really exhausted me. So that's why I stopped thinking others, just focusing on myself. I changed my mindset. And since then, I can take a rest and really run better. And actually, my running time also improved a lot. And then this is a photo from the overnight stage. Overnight stage, I have to run 80 kilos in 24 hours. And this is our last meal before we go. And finally, I go to the finish line again. Yeah, from this experience, one phrase from my favorite novel comes up to my mind. That is, think you're escaping and run into yourself. Longest way run is the shortest way. It's from Ulysses. This phrase really resonates with me because I thought that everything starts from one tiny step forward. And here's another story. It's about my entrepreneurship experience. Since that Sahara Desert race, my job performance has improved, and I gradually become more and more active and open to anything. And I have one sushi chef friend, and his sushi restaurant is really famous and really hard to book. Let's say his customers' waiting list for the reservation is 1 year ahead. But even though that situation, he's really struggled at handling reservation requests or cancellations. So that's why I just want to help him. And without much consideration, I just started developing the web service, the reservation system for fine dining restaurant. And even though I didn't have any coding experience since then, but I just tried. I just make us one little step forward. And this is the first time. This is the first time I developing some web service. That's why sometimes I ask the help from with a friend. And then somehow it takes 9 months, but the service was launched. The service name is Omakase. And gradually we attracted the employees and also customers, restaurants. And then firstly, we cannot even rent office. And then we just use the hourly rental office and do some meeting. And then bring back the to each members. And then do that kind of meeting once or twice in a week. And gradually, we attracted the various members. And now, the size is like this big. Yeah. But this service became much bigger than originally expected. So that's why I feel a little bit my out of controllable range. So that's why I decided to exit that company to a listed company named GMO Internet Group. And this is the new owner of the company. And this is the moment we push the button together to enter into the M&A contract. And as I told you, I tried twice attempting to creating some business. And the first time, I lost $10,000. Second try, I lost $10,000 again. But on the third try, actually, the height is not enough to show. I just keep you just lost what you bet. But if successful, you can get 100 times, 1,000 times what you bet. So that's why what I want to say is just make one step forward, even though that's not your field. And then I want to also recap what we learned from the ops management class. What is this red circle part?
Demand during lead time.
In other words,
Safety stock.
yes, it's safety stock. Safety stock. And then, what is a safety stock? Actually, practically. I mean, sometimes it can be the bottles of buttermilk for someone. But personally, I believe that the biggest safety stock is people and intelligence. So, the next question is, why do you have that safety stock? For what? I personally believe no one left behind is not just at MIT. I hope that most of you will be given a master's degree from the MIT in the next June, at least 99% confidence interval. I hope 100%, of course. But then your attitude, your word, your action will be much more influential than you imagine. So how do you use matters, I think. So that's why my message is like, again, make one step forward and then use that influence and your knowledge to help some people. And then lastly, I have to explain about this room work. My secret thinking. And I've been asked by many of you, like, how many hours do you have in a day? How many candidates in a day? Even some people even ask me how to double yourself. But here's the answer. To tell the truth, I'm Iron Man. Just joking, sorry. Too many joking is one of the weakness. I know it. But to be honest, my best friend is failures. Failure is my best friend because I learn something new every time I make a mistake. There's always something I can learn from it. Failure is a certificate of a challenge. And last week, let me introduce my mother's book. She often said to me from my early age, and the word is, if you have two choices, take the tougher one. Even if you fail at the tougher one, you can get experience that most other people tend to avoid. So again, I told you that I will tell about my failure today. But my hidden point is one step forward. one step forward and change the world. I love you, Twin Tata. Thank you.